Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Here We Are, Year Zero. I am your DMGM storyteller, whichever you would like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I'm joined by a lovely cast of Chucklefucks. Starting with Ellen.
Hello, I'm Ellen.
Yeah. All right, Ellen, who are you going to be playing?
Oh, I play Olivia Newton. She goes by Via for obvious reasons.
Obvious, yeah. Okay, fantastic. Besides Ellen, we also have Cabby.
I did not try to abandon Kira.
Cabby is playing Cabby, so no surprise there. Besides that, we also have Eric.
Hi, I'm playing Dexter. I'm a Taurus, and I am from Uzbekistan.
He's not, but it's relevant, chat. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. Last but not least, we have Moo.
Wow. So I'm playing the apparently not beloved Kira, and I was absolutely abandoned, but whatever. I see how
You
it is.
just run slow.
Sorry! I have my depth perception isn't fucking absolute.
All right. Well, last time the party found themselves a couple of yachts in an island chain off the coast of both the Panama and Costa Rica border in the Isle Ladrones. So, with a bit of a recap as to the clusterfuck that was last episode, Ellen, take it away. And Ellen, if you have any memory gaps, don't worry. You can phone a friend and you can call in other cast members to figure shit out.
Okay. We haven't played in a couple of weeks.
We haven't, yeah.
This is what I remember. We needed to fuel up, so we stopped at some sort of a place to do that. Something was chasing, not me. Whoever was being chased was running back toward the boat. We fired off a couple shots. They got to the boat. We left. Went somewhere else. Found a yacht that was very nice with lots of beds and televisions and food and clothing. And it was very fancy. And that's what I remember.
Oh yeah, and then Kira tried to abandon us.
And then Kira would not get on the boat with us because I believe there was some like veiled sexual harassment going on.
Veiled?
And, yeah, so right now we are trying to decide what we're going to do about taking this beautiful yacht that we found because Kira won't come with us. So maybe we're going to just leave her there or something. But that's all I remember. Like, that's all that sticks in my brain about what happened last time. That's probably all that was relevant.
They try to make us baby factories. How do you let them go?
When in the fuck did we do that?
Last time we played.
I don't remember this.
Pretty sure that somebody suggested that we needed to repopulate the Earth and
that was all
split up
Dexter.
girl, and boy.
All
in case
fucking
that needed to happen.
Dexter.
For the
You
record,
didn't choose a side, so your side was sued for you.
it was sexism, not sexual abuse or sexual harassment. A little bit of a difference there.
We need HR on this boat.
And that was intentional RP, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Oh god.
All right. Wow. Lovely story, folks. Thank you all so much for telling it. We come in. Oh, sorry, Eric, were you saying something?
I was just saying it wouldn't be any fun if nobody's feathers got ruffled.
I gotcha.
No need
Okay.
to be
Well, we come in with the three of you on the yacht. Currently, Cabby and Dexter are moving their things onto the yacht itself when Kira grabs her things and begins to storm off the yacht onto the docks and begins to make her way towards a yacht 2 boats up. And as she is walking away is when we pick up, as the three of you can see her beginning to take her first few steps off the back of the boat and beginning to walk up the docks.
Step, 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 step.
I'm just standing there, kind of confused. What you doing?
She doesn't want to be turned into a baby factory.
Who the fuck said anything about a baby factory?
He did.
Who did?
You did.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think she can take a joke. I think you probably should have realized that by now.
And I'm just gonna look over at Dexter. Yeah, you really should know that by now.
I
So
already
have I
told her
arrived?
she should come with us, so, I mean, maybe it's somebody else's turn.
No, wait. Come back. Don't go.
So have I arrived at the Buddha yacht yet?
So yeah, I'd say at this point, you see the booty yacht, the
Whoa, Buddha yacht or booty
Buddha.
yacht?
I mean,
Booty yacht.
you don't know what it was used for before. This may have in fact been a booty yacht before it was docked here. So, very retro, early '90s and '80s, a little bit of the '70s style. Bound trip
Oh,
a
God.
while. But you never know. But you make your way up to the booty yacht, and you can see that the back door is currently open as you left it. It doesn't look like it's been disturbed. No signs of blood or anything like that. And as you make your way close to the ship, you actually notice that much further up the docks, you can see a bit of movement.
No.
Go ahead and make me a spot listen from Kira. Difficulty is going to be 1. Difficulty dice to add.
That's the red one, right? Or is that the black one?
That's the black one. Red is damage.
Oops, it is. Oh. Wait, spot listen. Let's see how I do. Focus on my emotions. Probably won't help her. Haha!
All
My
right.
power graceful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So as your eyes catch a little bit of movement out of your peripherals as you're about to step onto this boat, you can see the back and forth motion of what looks like a gym bag, which is quickly followed by an individual, Caucasian male, early 30s, tall, maybe around 6'2", 6'3". You can't tell from this distance. He's maybe a good 200 meters down the dock from you. And he's currently going with the roundabout that the docks kind of naturally take, and is a little bit obscured by the light bobbing of the ships around him. But as he's walking down the deck, you can see he's got on shorts. He's got clearly a pistol strapped to him. He's got this gym bag in his left hand. He's got a little bit of a buzz cut that's slightly covered by a loose-fitting hat and a regular, stereotypical Hawaiian button-down shirt. And behind him, you can see another individual, woman, much younger, probably early teens. Could possibly be his daughter. You're not sure. They do have a little bit of family resemblance. Whereas he has dark brown hair. From what you can see of the buzz cut, she has sort of a brown blondish mix, piercing blue eyes, and she's probably standing at about 4 foot or 5'4", and she also has a gym bag in her left hand. But other than a hoodie and some shorts, you can't tell what else she has on her. And the two of them are talking amongst one another as they're making their way down the docks, quite casually. They don't seem to have noticed you yet.
So when you say the gym bag's moving, is it like just them moving it themselves?
It's just
or like
them moving it
if they
themselves with their natural movement.
Okay.
It's just the first thing that your eye caught was
Right.
a flash of green as his gym bag came slightly around the corner from him moving it.
And what's my distance from the boat that everyone else is on?
The boat that everyone else is on is probably, say, 25 meters behind you. There's just a small
Wait, if I
little ship in between the two of your boats.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna step on the boat I'm on because I don't think there's a reasonable way to contact it. We'll cross that bridge. So I will leave my stuff on the docks, assuming it's not too much stuff.
Does that
And
include the backpack that you've been searching your entire life for?
that is on my back, my man. That is
All right.
that
You
is
did
my
say I'm
what?
going to leave my stuff on the dock, so we got to clarify.
Okay. No. Okay, yeah. No. Panda Pal's with me. So I'll step onto this new Buddha boat, and I want to scour the immediate floor just for any evidence of threat, dangers.
The floor of the boat itself.
Yeah, I don't know how to call these levels because the one they're on is like a technically 3 different stories, right? Like floors or levels.
Yeah, I believe this boat is also a 3-decker.
Okay.
Let's see here. So, if you will, for me, go ahead and make. Dun 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 dun. Is there an investigation other than spot listen?
Thought we found one.
I thought we found one as well. But
I thought there was a
might...
search.
Search, yes, search is
That
what I'm
sounds
looking for.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Search, no difficulty dice. Just general search check.
With the power of darkness, I roll.
As Dexter looks back at Tabby and says, "Besides, isn't she like 14? Nobody's interested in
And
Add a character. You would populate the 14-year-old, huh? Okay, I see. You would populate with the 14.
all right,
Christ
so
alive.
Kira, as you're looking around, you know there's a beautiful rug. I mean, there's the light humming from the stainless steel fridge off to your right as you're stepping onto this first deck. There's the small table with a couple of chairs, and it doesn't look like anyone's been here in at least a week. And there, of course, is the ocean breeze, wafting into your nose and giving you that fresh, salty smell. It's pretty neat. It doesn't look very lived in here on the first deck from what you can see from the door that's open. But no signs of struggle, no signs of anyone recently being here, at least not from what you can see. And it's about at this time that I would like everybody else to make me spot listen checks.
Everybody but me, right?
Yeah, you've already made yours.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be that kind of a game.
Oof.
Dang! Via cares.
Holy
Via
Looking in my
God.
direction.
is number
missing
one
me.
when it comes to spotting and listening. Every game. All right. So, Via, I think those natural 20s that we rolled the other day in Cabby's game are still working their juju on you.
That's right.
Put
So,
3 on it.
you might want to go to.
Dexter.
You might want to go gamble pretty soon here. I'm just saying, do the way your odds are playing out. However, Dexter, yeah, you're too busy. Dexter and Cabby, you're both too busy, wrapped up in your conversation, getting your things on board the ship. However, Via, as you're kind of looking back between the guys and her, and you kind of poke your head around the side of the ship and look towards where she's headed off to, you notice that she's already gotten off the dock. Excuse me. And it's at this time. What did you leave, by the way, on the docks, Kira?
All right. Let's look through my inventory of all that shit. All right. So basically, I would have my shoddy on me, but I believe there's a semi-auto that be there in the bag, as well as the spare magazines, all that ammo, basically. And I don't think I gave my extra Kevlar vest other than the one I gave to Homegirl, so that would just be in one of the bags. There's a megaphone, there's a radio set, keypad.
All right, so you can see that her extra bag and a couple of her loose items are kind of in a pile next to that boat. But she's physically not on the dock, and you can also begin to see the telltale signs of someone walking down the dock, and you slowly see these 2 individuals that I described earlier beginning to walk down the dock. Does Via say anything, do anything, or does she just, go, whatever.
Can you guys hear me?
We can now.
Now we
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the lights go on, but I didn't hear anything for a second, but now I hear you. I think I missed the last full minute of talking.
Okay. So yeah, you can see a pile of Kira's stuff on the docks themselves, and you can also spot those individuals I described earlier making their way down the docks at this point, while the other two are currently in the middle of conversations and loading their own stuff onto the ship that you're stepping on, or the ship that you're on.
Okay, I will get their attention quietly, probably by just touching their arm and doing a look over there kind of thing without saying anything. See if I can get them to notice what's going on.
So, Cabby, you feel a quick tap on your shoulder, and Eric, or not Eric, but Dexter, you also notice Via come over and tap on Cabby's shoulder, and she begins to point down the dock when the two of you poke your head slightly, almost Three Stooges style, around the corner of the ship to take a look down the docks. You can see these two individuals calmly walking down the docks and talking amongst each other. You can't hear their conversation. They're a little bit too far down. I'd say at this point they're probably 180 meters from you guys. But you notice that the adult who's leading this party stops suddenly and starts pointing towards the gear that's been left on the dock.
At this point, I'm going to look towards Dexter to see what his thought is.
As you look over to Dexter, you're still looking around that corner as you watch Cabby turn his face towards you, and as he does, you can see the adult. He pulls out what looks like a pistol, probably a .45 auto of some kind. You're not entirely sure from this distance. And they start slowly making their way up the dock. This time, you can see that they're clearly scanning around, and every once in a blue moon, you get the glimpse of behind him. The girl that's traveling with him has now unslung a folded stock AKM or AKS, sorry, and she's occasionally peering from behind him and poking the barrel of her rifle over the sides of a few ships as they're walking forward.
Okay, he'll glance back at Cabby and say, "We didn't bring guns for nothing." And then he'll pull his AK in front of himself, not pointing it at them, but he's going to very obviously hop up on the dock and start walking back up that direction towards the gear.
Okay. So you take you make yourself extremely obvious, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. The moment that your shoes touch the dock and you start making your way off of the yacht and begin to turn that way, you don't break eye contact, I assume, but you watch as the two of them quickly dart onto the open back of one of the other boats. And you lose track of them for a moment as they disappear. It looks like they jumped into one of the boats.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me another spot listen. Okay. With 3 successes, easily you can then see the hat of the adult sort of peek around the corner. And the barrel of that AK that you saw with the girl is now in his hands, pointing out from the side of the boat. And it's a little faint over the sound of the water and the bobbing boats that ever occasionally tap the side of the wooden dock. But you hear from down that way, "Hello? You human?"
I've been accused of being human before, yes. Come on out. Could have shot you already, but we didn't. Just looking to keep things civil, that's all.
The head pops back around the corner. and a moment later, you watch as just him steps off of the boat that they ducked into. You don't see the girl at this point.
Okay, no problem.
And he's lowered his weapon at this point.
Okay. Mine is also still lowered, still in hand, but lowered.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, "How you doing? I'm Dexter. We're on a cruise ship, and got taken over by a cartel of some type in Panama. Started making our way up north. Don't mean any harm. You guys go about doing whatever that you're doing. Just want to make sure that you are aware that stuff on the dock belonged to a friend of ours, and we come in peace and all that."
He kind of nods his head a few times, and you see him. He doesn't break eye contact, but he moves his head to the left and says something that you can't hear, as you're about 100 meters away from each other at this point. And you watch as the girl begins climbing her way out of the boat, and she lifts up and pulls the two gym bags that they had off the ship, and the two of them continue down the docks. And the man then looks back at you and says, "Well, your friend's stuff was just, and he's speaking loud enough so that you can hear him over the distance as he's closing. He's just in front of our ship, so we thought maybe you were,
Which ship is he referring to?
Do you ask that?
Which ship is the stuff in front of?
The stuff is currently on the docks beside the black yacht, the other yacht that's here in the port.
Okay.
So I can obviously hear all of this, right? With how loud they're talking to each other.
Kira would be able to hear this, yeah.
Okay, I guess I would step out and go, "Wait, is this yours?"
His eyes quickly dart over to you. He doesn't make any, violent reaction or anything like that. But he says, "Yeah, that's our boat. If you wouldn't mind."
Yeah, I get off. My bad, I'm not a thief. And I just get there and pick up my stuff and start walking down the dock looking for another boat, decent quality.
So at that point, they don't say anything beyond that unless you, start questioning them. But they make their way towards that boat. And they'll close the gap if Dexter allows.
Yeah, no problem. And Dexter will just say, "Yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys didn't run into her and you're startled, or she was startled, and it's us against them, obviously."
Yeah, no. Okay. At least you're friendly. I mean, the last people we ran into shot at us, so. Yeah, we just finally made it back to the docks. We were in town on vacation. Took my daughter out, and the world ended. And you see as the girl quickly makes her way onto the boat, and she drops the gym bags, and sees that the door is unlocked. Doesn't say anything, but she does hesitate for a second as she sees the door is unlocked, and she just peeks in there. And after she quickly scans the room, picks the bags back up and moves inside.
Dexter will nod and say, "That's great. Good to still see friendly people out there. Just make sure that if you can, scavenge for a pair of good binoculars before you go, and any docks that you pull up to. I would just check out the water around them. We have been seeing some of these things in the water.
Oh, they're in the water. Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're in the water too.
And it's clear at this point. He's American. Most definitely, and so is the girl. Actually, the girl looks like she's probably mixed, so she's probably got some Latino heritage from the looks of it. But he kind of nods his head and says, "Well, if you're just getting on your boat and getting out of here, best of luck to you. But if you're planning on going on inland, I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, it was a hell of a time getting here. It took us a couple days just to, break away from our hotel, get a car, and make our way here. And countryside has gone to shit."
Oh, yeah, I understand. We probably wouldn't survive the hike even before all this shit went down, so we're not going to risk it now. We're also heading up the coast north if that's where you're going.
Yeah, we're going back to California. I live right there on the border. You know, but yeah, um, we haven't had much time to look at the news. Is the U.S. doing all right?
Not as far as I could tell. I know that Atlanta is gone. Most of everything on the East Coast is gone. The the Carnival ship that we were on was actually coming down through the Panama Canal and heading back up north to restation us in California somewhere. So apparently the West Coast is in a lot better shape. But I've heard that everything on the East Coast is pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah. Okay. You can see,
Uh,
not so much in his expressions, but something in his eyes when you say that Atlanta is gone. It just looks like a small part of him dies as you say it. But he doesn't make any other extremely visible sign that he just a tiny bit emotionally deflates as his eyes look down and he blinks a few times as you say Atlanta is gone.
And Dexter just kind of purses his lips with a knowing expression and sorry if you've lost anybody.
Oh no, it's not your fault. Okay.
But as I said, we're going to be heading north, hitting some of the refueling stations. If you want to follow behind us, you're welcome to.
That was our plan. That was our plan too. Yeah.
Kira, Kira over there may be interested in a ride. I'm not sure she's so interested in riding.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are,
So like
are
at this
more than
point,
welcome. Yeah.
can I like detect motives on this guy?
Sure.
Make sure.
Absolutely.
I want to believe he's sincere, but you never know.
I'm gonna give you a single difficulty dice because this is your first interaction with him. So you're
That's fine.
still learning, his ticks.
Okay, and then make sure there's anything here I gotta be mindful of. No, that's morale. Da, 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 da. Just okay.
Oh, shit, Cabby, I didn't
And
think of
something.
Say
You'd
what?
also like to
yeah.
detect motive.
that. No, I was just saying that Cabby asked if the backpack belonged to the little girl.
No, the backpack was from the yacht that you guys are boarding. So
Yep.
it would-
Oh, okay.
if they're,
Kinda
if they're telling the
start shit.
truth, then yeah, it wouldn't belong to her.
Okay, so detect motives. Oh.
Dexter, while they're talking, will actually the girl that is accompanying this dude and see if he can read anything off her, any fear, anything like that.
He's currently not visible. She's made her way into the cabin itself. And the last you saw her, she went through the tinted glass doors of the first deck, and she took the gym bags with her. And you haven't seen her pop back out yet. As you look that way, you just see her move from left to right, in between the open gap that the door leaves. Make me a spot listen as you look that way.
Also, a quick question: if I put 3 into that, does it just go neutral?
If you put 3 into it, let me see here.
Yeah.
No, it would still be considered a failure because you'd be down to 68, which would still be considered a failure.
That's fine.
And I'll spend 2 to bring that up to a success.
Okay. So you go ahead and spend 2, and speaking of which, go ahead and make sure that you refill your competency points back to their default state. All right. So, with the 2, as you look in there, you can see that she's got one of the father's bag open, the green gym bag open, and she's looks like she's pulling out a couple of magazines for the AK, and also she pulls out what looks like a bit of canned goods and starts putting them away in some of the shelving units in the boat.
Okay. So she seems comfortable enough to ignore us for the time being. I would say that probably safe with this dude. So.
But yeah, so you tell him all that, and he says, "Okay, yeah." Thanks for the information. Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to travel with us if you want. I mean, hell, we were lucky to get away from the feeders. So, um, strength in numbers.
Yep, same with us more than once. Okay.
Did you guys run into any?
Yeah, we're actually from New York, and
Okay.
we had a little run-in with them in New York, and then again.
Man, you guys have been on the ocean for a while, then.
Yeah, for a little bit. Came down with the Navy fleet down the East Coast, and they ran into a firefight down in Panama, like I said, and we had to bail from the Carnival ship that we were being transported on. And here we are.
Yeah, the 7th was here 2 days ago, and they got their ass kicked, so they're gone now. But
How so?
well, when the 7th kind of rolled by and all hell broke loose, and I don't know where they were headed. I guess maybe they were headed to meet up with you guys, but they just got mobbed by waves of people trying to get away from the hordes. And I don't know if it was the cartels, I don't know if it was one of the governments, but one of the forts started opening up on them. And they started pulling back, and they lost a destroyer. It sank. Maybe about 2 miles off the coast.
Damn! Wow, I didn't know the cartels down here were that well equipped. That's crazy.
I mean, they're equipped, yeah, but they aren't supposed to own a fort. That's, I don't know what the fuck is going on with the governments.
You know how it goes, man. Shit hits the fan, and everybody goes crazy. Everybody thinks that they're against each other instead of working together.
Yeah. But hey, the cartels that you said you got hit by some cartels. We saw really early during the outbreak. There were a bunch of white trucks, and it looked like they had one of those airport ramp cars with them. Are those the guys who hit you?
I couldn't say for sure, to be honest with you. We really didn't give a shit who it was or what they wanted with the cruise liner. I assume that they're just looking for safe transport like everybody else, but we decided that it probably wasn't the safest place to be, so we bailed and headed on our own.
I mean, I don't fucking blame them. Some of the shit I've seen, I mean, the feeders are bad enough. I mean, the fuckers are bad, but the flesh-shaped ones are worse. They're
Aaron, give me 60 seconds here, 1 sec.
Yeah. While that's going on, what is everybody else doing?
Have I seen another boat of quality?
Looking around, as I mentioned last episode, these are the only 2 yachts here in the docks. You've got a couple of speedboats around. You've got a couple of smaller fishing trolleys. The next largest ship would be what looks like. I don't know if Kira would have ever seen Deadliest Catch.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, for not Kira, sort of a stereotypical, fishing boat that you saw in Deadliest Catch. I don't actually know what the classification is called, but you see one of those is out there, and that's sort of the next largest ship out there.
All right. Does it look particularly difficult to flip over by waves?
You're not sure. Well, actually, you know what? Give me. Let's see here. You know what? I need to open
Brain power.
Roll 20 while I'm thinking about this. Go ahead and give me...
Resist pain.
I would
There are so
say...
many.
Give me a construction engineer check.
I knew it. I was looking right at that. All right. Oh wait, let's take off this difficulty die because it makes it
Yeah.
impossible. Okay. There'd be no way. Come on, by the Dark Lord, carry me. Yeah.
Dark Lord said your soul is fucking worthless.
Like my
No
ex-wife.
idea. No
All right.
idea at all.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 between a speedboat and something that doesn't tip over. As easily. Is there anything like halfway between that seems like it's not as easy to flip over, but kind of fast? Low.
With a roll of a
more fuel efficient?
54 on that construction engineering, I'm going to say Kira does not fucking know. She's
All right.
not even sure these boats are qualified to go out really into open water. She thinks that they might just be, qualified to stick to shores.
All right, fuck it. I just go with one of the medium options because, in my thinking, if speedboat flip over, I had to be on boat with the guys, so I'd rather just get something that seems more self-reliant.
Does Dexter see Kira walking from boat to boat?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see her staring at each boat and furrows her brow for a minute as she looks at each one and looks like she's contemplating something before she makes her way to another one.
I'm just gonna nudge Dexter forward and be like, "Dude, seriously, go."
He goes,
take
I was kidding, right? It was a joke. We joke, we kid around.
You hear that behind you, Kira, as you're looking through boats.
I hear the voice and I turn around, shotgun ready, but not up. I'm like, what? Huh?
I said, we were joking, right? I was joking with you.
Yeah, the situation's a little too serious for those kind of... Look.
Are you seriously PCing being politically correct with me in the fucking apocalypse?
There's nothing PC about this, okay? You don't know my story. I don't need some strange guy who's never shown me an inkling of respect talking about what he wants to do with my body.
Story now. Sorry.
Or, I don't know, just more elevated disagreement.
Stories where we come from that needs to be somehow projected onto everybody. Look, I'm not going to hurt you.
Look, this isn't about projection. You have your boat, okay? You can have a nicer boat, whatever. I'm just going to be here, do my thing, I sleep where I sleep at night. I'm a team player, whatever. I just don't feel comfortable, okay? It's fine, okay? Just... Anyway, yeah, I guess I just see the boat that's directly in front of me and just say fuck it and start putting my stuff on that boat.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 1d100. Look at that, 1d100. Let's see what you get.
This works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
96. Yeah, you've got like a small fishing boat. Newer, but it looks like it's been slightly retrofit to look very close to the ship that was in the Jaws movie. Instead of wood paneling, though, it's got fiberglass paneling.
All right, so I take it it's basically like a one level kind of boat, with that maybe like a half up for elevated view or something like that.
It's one level. It's got an interior cabin. You can see some stairs that lead down to the lower deck, and probably where you would stay to actually sleep. And above the first deck, you can see that there's a sort of a lookout / standing area with a steering wheel and a throttle. If you want a higher position.
Okay, I guess I'll just look for anything that's like chair or something. Just throw it toward the door to the underground to see if I hear any responsive noises. Anything hidden in there?
Okay. So you're looking for like just a small piece of metal or something?
Whatever. I'm just trying to get an idea of something's downstairs that's gonna bite me.
Sure, absolutely. Make me a throw check.
Aaron,
No difficulty, just a throw check.
While this is going on, Aaron, Dexter's just going to throw his hands up and as he's turning around to walk back towards his boat, he's going to yell out, "You know that was the boat that everybody got eaten in the movie Jaws, right?"
Never seen Jaws. What is that
So,
about?
as you say that, you pick something up small and you go to chuck it, and it like taps lightly off the window, barely makes a noise.
Ah! I just go and open the door and just start investigating.
Okay, make me a spot listen.
I'll open my feels. All right. This is how we die. Together on a boat. You and I.
So as you open the door and begin looking around, you can hear a bit of shuffling from the stairs that lead down into the lower portion of the deck, and
Oh, shuffling is never good.
you just watch as a pair of lightly glowing red eyes peer around the corner of the stairs at the bottom.
All right. How much space do I have distance-wise from these eyes?
10 meters.
10. Oh, plenty of space. All right. I am going. Wait, 10 meters? What? Big ass boat.
It's a long one. Because I'm
All right,
assuming that you're standing in the back with the door open.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah.
Then I see. I have the door open, and then I just get my shotty and tap against the door, and be like, "Come here, come here!" And start like running outside and be like, "We got a live one," trying to like bait its corpse to be fucked up outside of the boat I'm going to try to live in. You know,
Oh,
I'm just going to be
absolutely.
at the dock, ready
Yeah.
to try to bait it out, so that when it comes through, I can just try to shoot it without fucking my boat up.
So, do you try and get off the boat as you do that, or?
Yeah, I basically want to just like try to like eyeball it till it gets to about 15 meters. Once it's that far away, then I just start like backing out with control, try not to trip over and fuck everything up, and just communicate loudly to everybody that we got a live one coming.
Okay, so as you're doing that, it's going to attempt to charge you.
Damn
And I need you to make me, because the lip of the boat and actually getting onto it, when you stepped on the boat, it's slightly lower than the dock itself, where the
Okay.
lip is like right at the dock. So make me a jump leap, and I'll give you a +10 for this.
Here we go, boys. Time to die. Oh,
Okay.
it's so good. So good.
So, you have
So
your
good.
intentions of, just quickly making your way out of the boat, making a bit of noise, telling it to come towards you, and letting everyone know that you've got a live one down below. And as you move your foot to try and quickly get back onto the docks, you get your foot halfway up before you slip, fall straight onto the deck. The gun slams, the barrel of the gun slams into your lips, and leaves a bit of a bruise. As I would like you to remove 1 from your damage threshold, just a single point from your damage
Okay.
threshold.
Now I gotta find that shit. Damage threshold. Okay, I think I see 5 total.
Mhm.
So do I put a 1? Does that make the math change? No.
Just
That makes a 6. -1.
yeah, just put a -1 in there. In that one that says total, it's actually your bonus.
Oh. So is it still correct? Basically, I have it on my sheet.
Let me run over to your sheet real quick.
Sorry about that. I used to getting hurt.
Yeah, that'll do it. Absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, the gun slaps you in the mouth, and you're on your butt. And you hear the sound of this thing making its way up the stairs. I'm gonna give Dexter and Cabby and the guy a chance to react. So Dexter, what's your intent?
As I hear her, is she? And this is a question for Moo, but is she coming out like calm and saying we've got a live one, or is she screaming her head off like she's
The first one, the former, basically thinking she's got it under control. You.
Yeah.
so?
She's calm up to the moment that you're in like a pause moment as you watch as her foot slips and she's like on the way down to prone on the deck.
Okay, so Dexter's eyes kind of furrow, like, what the hell is she talking about? And then he'll hop over onto the boat, but he's gonna be fairly calm about it. He will raise his gun at the door and kind of watch for a second,
Hmm.
but he doesn't know if she's just being Kira or if there's something actually coming.
I don't cry wolf.
Okay. But do you level your gun at the door with the intent to shoot?
Oh, absolutely. He draws it up to his cheek. He's got it aimed and ready to fire.
Okay, fantastic. What is Cabby doing?
I'm at this point just trying to gain my bearings on what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I hear her, yell, "We've got a live one!" and see Dexter pulling his gun up, but I'm just dumbfounded at the moment.
Okay. You watch as the guy. He's only got his 45. He handed the AK back to the girl, and she went inside the boat. But he levels his 45 in that direction, and he's ready to shoot as well. As you watch this, the door to the boat, as Kira was backing up, slowly began to close back. And he watches the door swings open wide, and as it bursts open, there is no scratches, no bite marks, no black ichor or anything like that. But there is a red-eyed young man, probably either late teens or very early 20s, slicked back hair. He's got a slightly damaged with a few holes in it hoodie, black hoodie, a pair of shorts, some slippers, and a bit of drool slightly leaving a trail from his mouth that kind of trails down to his side and behind him as he kicks through the door and begins making his way towards Kira. So
Dexter would open fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and open fire. Give me a long guns. I'm not going to give you any difficulty dice for this, but go ahead and put 2 red dice on it.
Okay, for effectiveness, I'll just go ahead and say I'm going to add, after the roll, if you'll allow, I'm going to add 3 competency to it for extra damage if I succeed here.
And the guy starts popping off shots with his 45 as well. And he's going to... Okay, you've got the 1 success, which confirms the hit. Did you add your 2 red dice, or did you forget to?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to.
No, that's fine. Just go ahead and roll me 2d6s. Okay, so you did 6 points of damage, and he did 5. He's going to go ahead and roll another d6, because he's going to convert his damage. Alright, so he does 10 damage. And
So the extra 3 competency that I dumped into it, how does that work? Do I just dump that on damage, or?
how many points of competency did you dump into it? 3?
Yeah, my max 3.
So that's going to automatically go right into damage. So go ahead and roll me another 3d6. And let's see here. So he did 10 damage. You did 6. That's 16. All right. And then you did another 8 to him. So you watch as this door bursts open. Kira, you slip and you hit the deck, and the barrel of the shotgun smacks you in the mouth. And the moment the door bursts open and the shotgun smacks into the deck and lets you get a clear view, you can see 2 AK rounds burst through the individual's chest, and 3 45 rounds just go square in the head. And this guy drops. And he twitches a couple of times, and then begins to straighten out. Until finally he stops.
Dexter uses the tip of his gun and pokes the body a little bit. And once he's satisfied, he'll reach a hand down to offer to Kira. So, you okay?
I'm just muttering to myself in a bunch of gibberish, like Kadetsin and all these other, like, 4 different languages, profanity, and just pissed off. And I get up and I see your hand, and I just, like, look at it and I say, I appreciate the sentiment, but I'd rather not just get up. I've got a lot of cleaning to do. I'm like half embarrassed, but just yeah. Not in a way that she's trying to be disrespectful. Just like she doesn't seem like she just wants to touch anybody.
Okay. Thank you for watching.
And like halfway to walking towards the corpse, I stop and turn around and say, "Thank you, though, and you too, Mr. Dad."
Yeah, no problem, kid.
We're gonna to this red-eyed teenager.
So yeah, you can see as you look over at him, his eyes begin to go dull until they return to a natural light brown. Looks like a normal teenager.
Hmm.
Of course, now he's filled with holes, and the back of his head's blown out.
So much fucking cleaning. All right. I guess I'm just gonna. Fuck. What's the best thing?
But
I guess
far
just...
off in the distance, towards the end of the docks, you hear.
All right, time to get this boat going, boys. So fuck it. I'm gonna take this rope out. Try to dump the course with my low strength.
Sure, absolutely.
Or...
Make me a what is it? Lip pull.
Okay. I believe I can.
She's still trying to undo the fishing fishing boat.
So you watch as she stands up and dusts herself off a bit, and goes over to the body, grabs it by the legs, and starts dragging it towards the edge before she puts the legs up on the edge and then grabs the hoodie and lifts, and you hear it go, "Ugh!" And she lifts him up and rolls him off the side of the boat as you hear it just drop into the water.
Lego houses.
What was that?
Glenn, were those Lego houses?
Oh, yeah. Elise got a Hogwarts Lego set today.
They're awesome.
She spent a few hours building it. It's
Nice.
the I don't remember which one she. Oh, it's the Burrow, the Attack on the Burrow, Harry Potter Lego set.
All right.
I guess, are there any noticeable keys near the driving area?
Make me a search check. And the search is going to be at difficulty 1. So add a difficulty dice there.
Always gotta believe. Let's see here. Through the power of Grayskull. Yeah, I'm gonna dump it to make that a success. Jeez, by 1?
Ooh, wow. All right. So you go ahead and spend the competency points and make that a success as you're searching through, and you open up the door, go in there, start looking around, and you check all the little drawers that are in there, and then eventually you can see that there's one of those blue coolers, small coolers that might hold like 4 Coors Light at the most. And as you open it up, you can see at the bottom of it, it's completely empty, aside from a set of keys that are sitting there at the bottom.
That's a good hiding spot, I guess. Okay, so I take it out. I'm inside the cabin, so I see nothing else trying to kill me inside this cabin?
Not at this point. You don't hear or see anything else in here. Go ahead and everybody make me spot listen.
Time to die together.
But Dexter, as you're watching her, as you're looking at, as you watch her pull the body over, and you can go ahead and remove those damage dice off your sheet, Dexter. But as you watch her throw the body into the water and begin going into the cabin, you watch as the dad, who's still, you haven't figured out his name yet, puts away his pistol and says, "More of those things will be here soon. We should go." You know your way to the next fueling station, or do you want to follow us up?
We got a GPS, but it's not the greatest.
Follow us up. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for the help, by the way.
Yeah. And he quickly goes over and begins, untying his ship from the docks. While this is going on, what is Via doing?
I would have imagined that while Dexter and Cabby were talking to the guy, Via would have been taking all of her gear onto the yacht and sort of getting that set up and looking at the controls and getting comfortable with the yacht. Yeah, so I think I probably would have arrived after the
Okay.
shots were already fired.
All right. So yeah, as he's getting his boat untied and Cabby, what are you up to?
At this point, I'm probably just trying to get the rest of the stuff loaded onto the ship.
Sure. Why don't the both of you make me lift pull checks as you quickly start going back and forth between your little emergency vessel, trying to get all the food and all of your equipment onto the yacht.
Holy shit!
It's 2 successes from Cabby. Ooh.
Oh, nope. I can't pick anything up.
Oh, it's not that you can't pick up anything. It's just that while Cabby, he starts running back and forth, careful of his stepping, of course. He starts picking up, like canned goods and dried MREs, that little pallets that are in the emergency vessel, and running them back and forth. You go to pick a few things up, and initially you pick up too many things. So as you pull them out of the boat and step onto the docks, you take a couple of steps and you notice things are slipping, and it takes you a while to start getting the things that you wanted to initially get there. But with your earlier spot listens, you all hear the sound of objects hitting the water further up the docks, and it's just bloop, bloop, bloop up the dock.
All right, Dexter's going to start running back that way. He's going to yell one more time and say, "Kira, we got to go." And then he's going to run back to the boat where the other two are.
Okay.
And
to let you guys know, I don't believe you guys have found the keys to your yacht yet.
I thought they
The
were
main
under
one?
the
You said they were under the visor.
visor.
There you go. All right, fantastic. So you do have those keys. Good. Who has them? Or did you leave it there?
I think I found them, so I would have them.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got the keys. But you get, that pile of stuff that you were trying to get onto the back just as Cabby is finishing up his second run from the emergency vessel to your new boat. And you guys probably still have a day's worth of food on the emergency vessel to move.
Nope, not worth it.
Yeah, no, we got food on the yacht. I think we're good.
Okay, so the two of you pile on, and I'm going to assume that Via makes her way up to the actual driving deck of the ship.
Yep.
And you go ahead and you sit down in the chair with the steering wheel, put the keys in, and turn the ignition, and you hear it start up, and then turn off. You haven't either flipped something, or you need to do something here. So make me...
Okay, I'll look around. Okay, what am I making? Is there like a clutch that I have to pop in or out or something?
So
like
you have
lawnmower?
you have a
I don't
choice
know.
here. You can either make me a search check, or if it's higher, make me a digital systems check.
Oh gosh. Okay, I don't even know where. Oh, they're exactly the same.
Okay.
So.
You can just... Oh, fantastic. So Via, you turn the key the first time, and you hear it begin to start up, and then it turns itself off. And you quickly begin looking around at the various different buttons and boops and bobs, and you start quickly mentally, or maybe even lightly out loud, reading off the various different titles underneath each switch, at each different panel, and you go over to two of the buttons, which allow fuel into the left and right engine, and go ahead and start setting up you let the oil start flowing, and you go to turn the keys again, and this time it actually starts fully.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. That was really good rolling. Okay. And with that, you guys are set to go. I'm going to need so Kira, you finish moving the body. You've gone up to the control surfaces. You got the key. You put in the key. Same thing happens. It starts acting like it's going to turn on, and then it doesn't turn on. I'm going to need you to also make me either a search or digital systems check.
All right, search is much more my alley. The digital systems is a freaking. Where the hell is that, anyways? That's under
Via,
expert,
you have
right?
a 56 for your digital systems? Because you have a 56 for your search.
Yeah.
Wow. You were
I guess
good
I
with the
put
computer.
some training into that. I don't know. That's what it says.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I tried digital just to experience
Okay.
it.
All right, you start looking around, and you start you flip a couple of switches. You go to turn it again, and nothing.
Great. All right.
Thinking that maybe it was the switches that you did. You flip those off. You flip on a couple more switches, turn the key, still nothing. So you guys are just hearing the engine failing to start on Kira's boat. You watch as the dad quickly jumps down onto their yacht. He runs up these stairs to the second deck, slides open the door, gets to the control surfaces, and within seconds, it's on and running.
Being the closest person to where Kira's at, Dexter will call out, "Kira, let's go!"
All right. I will run over to my bag, pull out my megaphone, haha, and call out to the dad character. How do you boat?
All right. So 1 second here. Okay. So, as you yell out with the megaphone, "How do you boat?" You watch as one of the tinted windows of the second deck of their yacht quickly slides open, and he starts walking you through the systems, or through the checklist. So go ahead and roll me a digital systems. Is going to be able to plus 10.
All right. Time to die again. The Ripper's coming for me, my friend.
Okay, 2 successes. He walks you through, how you set
can I
the
dump
RP.
3 into it to really go decadent?
Just the 2. So he walks you through it, and he tells you where to set the RPM, what switches to flip, and what order they're supposed to be in, and then what your takeoff throttle should be in order to get safely out of the docks. And he, within about a minute, you turn the key and it starts up. And just as it starts up, from underneath your boat, Kira, you hear these odd tapping noises. And I'm going to need to roll.
You're going to take on water.
And from directly below you, you just hear a loud smack of flesh against metal. And it sounds like something popped down there.
All right.
That's not something you want to hear.
Yeah, as a reminder note, I did say take rope off before knocking body off side of boat.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure
I'm assuming you're on time.
surprises.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So I want to rip out of that mofo as fast as possible.
Okay. Yeah, you start pushing the throttle forward. What do the rest of you do? Because the moment the dad sees that Kira's boat is now moving and starting to turn out from the docks, his engine goes from idled and it starts kicking up with speed, and he starts turning out of the docks.
When Dexter hears that Via's already got the yacht running, he's going to untie from the dock and jump on.
Okay.
Throw the ropes on the
Dexter,
dock.
Dexter and Cabby, you both would be in the position to possibly hear this. Both of you make me a spot listen. It's going to be with 2 difficulty dice, though, because this is underwater.
Black die?
Yeah. Okay, Cabby makes it. So, Cabby, you heard that definitive pop of something hitting metal. Dexter, you did not. and it sounded like to you, Cabby, it came from Kira's ship. And the other two are gonna make their checks real quick to see if they can grab on. So. In rapid succession, you hear another boom from underneath Kira. And the last one is going to do his check. Okay, and a third one. And this time you hear a little bit of
A little bit of a what?
a little bit of like
audio.
metal wrinkling and folding in on itself.
Good.
But yeah, you start taking out of the docks, and you start heading for open waters. Do you let the black yacht, the Buddha yacht, I should say, take the lead?
Black booty yacht.
Yeah, Black Buddha. Or do you just gun it out of the port, or do you let Black Buddha take the lead?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to distance from these things, so like whatever I can do to try to shake them off and, get away from what seems to be a threat.
Okay.
I'm not gonna just go off into the blue wilderness yonder thing. I'm just gonna try to get away. Hopefully, sound stop and then follow in suit.
All right. So you begin pulling out into the open waters. Sort of angling yourself for the gap between the main isle and this isle that'll lead you further up the coastline. You can hear the sound of the other boats behind you as Black Buddha turns and also begins following your boat. And I'm going to assume Via also kicks on the throttle and starts making her way. And are you going to follow Black Buddha, or are you just going to gut it?
I would stay pretty close to the other boats. If I wouldn't try to get ahead if I was already behind.
Okay, fantastic. So you kind of pull up, third in the convoy as these three ships begin making their way into open water.
Yeah.
And you don't hear anything, Kira, as you're sort of leading the pack, out of the docks initially, but maybe after you get half a mile out of port, you start slowly hearing doom, 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 doom coming from underneath.
All right, megaphone
Like someone's
in hand,
walking.
up yelling. Like inside?
Not necessarily inside. I mean, it doesn't sound like someone's walking on wood. It sounds like someone's walking on metal. And the floors of this boat, as you look down, are wood.
All right, I'm just gonna get on my megaphone and call out. I think I got a straggler, or 2 or 7. This is how I die.
Okay. So you go ahead and everybody make me spot listen to see if you can hear that. No difficulty dice.
Damn, God. Damn, a 1?
Wow, Cabby, not hearing a thing as you are you're sort of on the first deck, closest to the engines.
Tinnitus flare-ups.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a bit of a flare up as you're standing towards the back of the first deck, and you can hear the engines, churning up the water, and it's creating that beautiful V shape as it's cutting through the water, and you just faintly hear from the other side of your boat. But you can't make out any of the words. But yeah, Dexter and Via and the dad also hear your pleas for help. And Kira, I'd like you to make me a spot listen with a +5.
Ooh. +5 on a listening spot check. Haha! And with a
Nice.
+5, it becomes is that 2 successes or no? I don't know how this works.
It wouldn't matter either way.
Just stay warm.
So you look over as you can see something flashing red on the dashboard of your boat, and you can see there's a little CB radio off to one corner that has a flashing red light, and you don't even have to go that far. You just reach your left hand over, and you can see that it has a speaker option. And you flick the little switch, and you start hearing the dad's voice, and he says, if you have people on the ship, are they inside or what?
It sounds like metal, like it's stepping on the metal, but then look at the floor and it's wooden. I don't understand. I think it's in the howl, the hull of the ship. Oh,
He says the hull. The word you're looking for is the hull, and
yes.
you can also hear this via over your CB radio, which was already fully on and on the speaker mode. And the dad calls out, "You probably want to. You're gonna want to get off that boat. Those things can stick on."
Oh, okay. And I guess I try to like position my boat towards theirs and like see. Can you bring your daughter down to like transfer the stuff like as a pass or whatever? If we do this.
There's a moment of pause over the radio before he says, "Oh, all right." And their boat speeds up to catch up with yours. You can hear Kira on the underside of your boat, the three distinct sets of shuffling noises making their way to the back deck of your boat.
All right. I will try to do what I can to get as close to the black booty yacht as possible.
Absolutely. You are going to make me a navigation check.
Time to die, boys. All right. May the power of Buddha guide me in his blackness. All right, guys. Rip.
All right. Would you like to spend any competency points?
Will it make a difference?
It might.
All right, I'll toss 3 in there. F it.
Okay, great. Fantastic. So, instead of flipping the boat over, Kira, you turn the wheel, and it turns quicker than you were expecting. So you kind of do that, 130 miles an hour on the highway, overcompensate steering, as you start whipping the boat back and forth and in the water as you're trying to get closer, and you kind of have to steer away from their ship in order not to hit it. So you end up further than you started. However, with the violent whipping back and forth, I'm going to make grapple checks for them. So, grapple check for you. He's still on. Grapple check for you. You lose 1 as you hear this violent skid mark. Or not skid mark, but skidding sound underneath the boat. And Via, I think at this point you'd be the only one in position to see the churning water behind her boat goes from like that crystal clear and blue spray to a sudden red mist that starts to intermix with it. And Kira, as that happens, you hear this horrifying sound of something getting caught in the blades of the engine.
Yep.
And there's this loud metal ding as the blades on the engine snap.
Oh.
And you've still got momentum, but this thing's gonna be dead in the water soon. And all right, last grapple check for the other one. Yeah, he's still on. All right, so you only lost 1 passenger. But yeah, with that,
how far?
You're starting to slow down, and you've got a good 30-meter gap between your boat and theirs.
That's good distance. All right, I'll just steer it towards a trajectory that would like get us to meet sooner than later. I will start understanding that okay, this boat's fucked. So I'm pretty sure my ship's kind of in a close pile anyway. So just want to like get it towards the edge with a shotty in hand, ready for whatever the hell's gonna come out.
Yeah, absolutely. You open up the back door. You quickly make your way to the back deck, and you start looking around. And you can see all your stuff with the violent turning of the wheel has slammed into the back right corner of the back deck. It's kind of piled up and slightly tangled on itself in the back there. But you run over to it, and you go ahead and start picking things up. Go ahead and make me a lift pull.
Oh, great. My best skill. Alright. We pull, then we lift.
This is just to see if you can get everything in hand.
Alright. Oh!
So you immediately, you go down, you bend down to try and grab a few things, and you don't know what happened, but as you pick up the first bag, you watch as one of the magazines to a Glock slams into the side of the boat and goes into the water, and the rest of them just pour out onto the open deck, as well as a few other items here and there.
Alright, 1 Glock magazine, negative. Okay.
But you quickly try and start picking things back up and putting them back in the bag as their ship gets closer to you. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to make a navigation check. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. We'll give him that. Navigation, submit. So he tries to get closer and closer to your boat without slamming into each other. I need to clear my own dice pools. My bad. But he's just looking at the situation. You can see he's having to back off every time he gets a little too close. It looks like he's almost going to hit you, and he starts backing away. As it just takes him a solid 2 minutes to properly line up your boats before finally you're able to start throwing things overboard. And you, just as you get to the point where you're able to throw your things onto the ship, you hear the sound of popping metal, and you notice as a set of black claws begin to make their way up the other side of your boat and out of the water. So...
Wait. Oh, okay.
As that happens, I would like for you to go ahead and give me a throw check to try and get your stuff onto the other boat. Dear God, don't roll 5 fails.
This would be so great if I do.
Would you like to spend competency points?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have to spend all 3.
Okay.
All right. And that will just barely get you to a success. As you chuck your stuff, and it's not a good chuck, as it goes over the railing of both your ships, and then the speed of the boats causes your stuff to immediately fly backwards, and it slams into the back left corner of their boat. On their deck, and it looks like it's beginning to slip into the lower portion of their deck, but you watch as the girl quickly runs out and grabs onto your stuff. As now I need you to decide what you're doing as the head of this heavily scarred Hispanic male with these long black claws begins poking his way over the side of your ship and begins climbing up. Are you going to make a jump for it? Or are you going to try and fight him off?
All right. So, to my understanding, both ships are parallel, right?
Uh-huh.
And how much speed does my boat have right now? Does it still have some, or is it pretty much just not really moving?
It's got enough speed to maintain the side-by-side for maybe a round.
All right. So, is it plausible, just like cause trying to get like a visual headspace, to run up, quickly try to yank the steering wheel away from their boat and just try to jump in their shit and risk all hell?
Their steering wheel's on the second deck, so you wouldn't be able to yank the steering wheel.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, no, then we try to get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So go ahead, and you're going to make me a jump leap.
This is my best skill. Everything physical. Why do you do this to me? I'm a social character despite my enemies. Jump leap is. Oh, here it is. Particularly bad. Go. That'll still
Okay.
be a fail with 3.
All right. Let's see here. Do you want to spend the 3 competency points so it's just a
Yeah.
minor failure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go ahead and spend the 3, and you try and jump over to their ship, and you didn't compensate very well for the speed, as you end up essentially doing the splits between both ships. Luckily, you're sore, but it doesn't damage you. And this guy is going to try and lift pull himself fully onto the ship while you do that. Okay. But you watch as the creature making its way up on the side of your boat, as he tries to get his arms over the side fully. He slips a little bit and he ducks below the water slightly, but he's still holding on at this point. And that's going to give you enough time, with the assistance of the girl, as she's now moved your stuff and she's running over to you to try and pull you, to make, this time, we're going to have you make, where is the equivalent of endurance check, as you're going to get a +5 to your endurance, though, as she is helping you out. Okay. So your boat loses speed. And it starts quickly drifting back. She grabs onto your shoulders and tries to pull you forward. I'm going to make a roll for her. So she is this character sheet, and then she's going to make a lift pull. She does not have a good chance of doing this. Wow. Okay. So as your boat rapidly loses speed and immediately starts whooshing backwards, she grabs into your shoulders and begins pulling you up onto their boat. And she gets you halfway over the lip before the front end of your boat, like the cabin, the side rail, and the side of the ship, all smack into the lower end of you. And that's going to do...
Holy fuck, what? Oh, God. Wheelchair life.
You take 6 points of damage as your ship's rapid decelerations causes the ship to smash into your legs before it passes you by. And you're just barely hanging on with your legs now dangling over the open ocean. How is Kira doing health-wise?
Yeah, that's what I gotta remember. So is it damage threshold is subtracted from the damage I take? Or...
So the damage you take, you first subtract from your damage health threshold. And then if you go past your damage threshold, you then start taking injuries. You can take up to 5 injuries before you're dead.
2 injuries.
What is 2 injuries? All right.
Because I had a -1 from before, so my 5 went down to a 4. And then 6 minus 4 is -2.
Okay. Well, this is where I'm going to have to ask the medical professional of the show.
Yes.
How severe of a break would there be from a boat rapidly decelerating and slamming into your legs be? A leg is going to break. But is it going to be a fracture? Is it going to be a compound?
Yeah.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, basically her leg is getting smashed between 2 moving boats.
No, the cabin and the side railing of her boat, as it decelerates, slams into her legs. And imagine she's like halfway across both ships, and the girl has her held, and her legs get smacked by her ship and flown back, and she'll get thrown onto the deck, but it'll smash into her legs as and force her to and throw her onto the deck.
Upper or lower?
Roughly a little bit higher, maybe an inch higher than the kneecaps.
Fracture at best.
Okay, fracture. So
At best again.
all right. So you're going to go ahead and put a check mark in your first box, and you're going to write down fracture.
And then second checkbox.
Is this enough force, Cabby, to cause a concussion?
If you're able to crack a femur, oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when you check your second box, write down that you have a concussion.
Can I do the resist pain, or does it do nothing?
I would say yeah. Go ahead and do me a resist pain. You can try.
I never get to roll it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good at that.
All right. All right. Good to know. So go ahead and we'll say you have the second box checked, but you won't have a concussion.
Compound? Question mark?
You're still gonna have the fracture. Absolutely.
But is like penetrating, or is it not penetrating the skin?
No.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
No.
No, the only way you do that is if you snap your femur in half, and at which point your leg is now about 6 inches shorter.
All right, so I just put super fracture in the second checkbox.
All right, there we go. Fantastic. So, you now have injuries. Fun. But you are smacked onto the deck of the Black Buddha, and you are in severe pain as you can feel the blood rushing through your leg. Your entire leg is having shooting spasms. It does not feel great at all, and it's starting to go numb. Yeah. And I would like you... Let's see here. I'd like you to go ahead and make me a composure check.
Haha. Now we're in my dance space. Where the hell's composure at? Okay.
So yeah, you absolutely you are sent into screaming pain as
Can I
this
burn
happens.
3?
You can burn 3, yeah, if you'd like to.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna go ahead and burn 3, then yeah, you hold in the scream, but oof, you're not good, not good at all.
Action movie tough guy. Can you ask for the other boat to deliver Via? I know she's a nurse. She's trustworthy. Oof.
I'm not the nurse.
Via is not a nurse.
Oh, sorry. I'm in so much pain. Is Rachel an NPC amongst us? Or
No,
Yeah,
she is not.
The better choice.
All right.
What canonically happened to Rachel?
Canonically, she just disappeared one night. You don't know what
Fell
happened.
overboard, I
Okay.
guess.
Fell overboard, probably.
Oh. Okay. Damn.
But yeah,
All right.
the fishing trolley is gone. It is now dead in the water behind you, and you can see as the two creatures make their way onto the back deck of that trolley and start staring off at your two boats as you essentially ride off into the horizon. And that is where we're going to call our first break, and we will see you guys pretty soon here. BRB.
Alrighty.
Peter.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Here We Are Year Zero. Okay, getting back into things. I need to close my door, but Kira, you are launched onto the second yacht, onto the Black Buddha, by the force of your own boat smacking into your leg and causing a fracture. And as you lay out on the deck in pain, we flip over to the other boat, watching this entire incident go down. And I would say that both Dexter and Cabby have made their way up to where they could also see this event happen.
So standing side by side as each of these events unfold, Dexter's like, "Oh damn, oh shit, oh, did you see that?"
Yeah.
And then he looks at
I'm-
Abby and he says, "We're not going back for her."
I don't want to.
I mean, we can't just leave her there.
She's gonna get all of us killed.
Maybe this is a life lesson?
Over the radio, you hear the dad's voice, and he's on channel 15.7, by the way. But over the radio, you hear, are either one of you guys a medic, perhaps, or a nurse or something? That looked pretty bad from up here.
I'm just sitting there signaling to Via, like, do not fucking volunteer me.
I mean,
I mean, you don't have to signal. She has to push the button in order
Kira
for him
knows
to hear your voice.
you're a medic.
Oh, I'm not saying don't... or that you don't know that I'm a medic. I'm saying don't fucking volunteer me for this shit.
Isn't it like your calling in life or something?
No.
All right, well, you have to live with yourself.
I can live with myself pretty easily.
And as you say that, you watch as their boat begins to slow in order to pull up alongside you guys. And, you know,
Wait,
if you
wait,
want
what?
to... Oh, go ahead.
We slow down.
No, they're slowing down.
I can't just leave her there. If she doesn't learn from this, we'll leave her behind next time, but I can't, like...
I'm going to just go pick up my med bag and start walking towards where I can hop over. And before doing this, I'm just looking at Via going, you know what?
I'm sorry.
If she doesn't learn from this, I'm shooting her myself.
That's fine.
Okay. So you go ahead and you grab your med bag. You make your way down to the deck that allows you to cross over, and their ship pulls alongside yours. And the daughter quickly runs over to the edge of their boat and says, "Either of you medic? Either of you?"
What?
Her eyes then snap to your medic bag. She quickly motions for you to come aboard.
Yeah, I hop over in absolutely zero hurry.
Okay, fantastic. So, you know, you of course have to wait for them to line up the ships, but after a good 2 minutes of properly lining up, you go ahead and you hop on over to their ship where, as you take the few steps that you have to up the small set of stairs, you can see Kira is sort of laid out on the back of the deck. It looks like her left leg is heavily bruised, and it's turned purple at this point as she's laying there in pain.
All right. I am going to walk over, kneel down, and I'm going to put two hands on either side of it, and I am going to very forcefully move it left to right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna loudly like make noise of pain and be like, "Don't you fucking warn people before you do that?" Oh God! Oh.
No, it hurts worse if I warn you.
All right. Go ahead and I'm gonna call for a first aid check.
Time to get crippled.
And gear, first aid kit. Wait, hang on. Do I have anything else that flies better? Nope. Submit. All right, how's the gear and multiplier shit work?
So if you have any modifiers in training value, you can go ahead and select that relevant gear or piece of equipment, and then add that in. So yeah. Okay. Any competency points you want to spend?
Nope.
Okay. Heavily bruised. The leg still moves. Doesn't feel like anything's broken.
All right. So, when I push back and forth either way, do I feel like any bone shifting against bone? It's a very noticeable feeling.
Even with the one failure, I'm gonna say go ahead and do for me a spot listen, but with a +10.
Spot listen +10. Nope.
Any competency you want to spend?
Nope.
You're half-assing it. You don't feel anything.
Oh, I'm
wrong.
really half-assing it.
Yeah, nah, she's probably just bruised heavily.
All right. So I line up both legs, make sure one's not shorter than the other. And with just a very annoyed tone, just scale of 0 to 10, how much does it hurt?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna go with 2, and I stand up and pick my bag up and start walking away.
Okay.
And I guess whenever he like straight up leaves the ship, I'm gonna just turn to the daughter and be like, "He's terrible people. Please don't let me go back with him."
So, she watches this and she just blinks her eyes a couple times. Goes, okay. I mean, all right. Well, at least you're okay. And she offers you a hand to get up.
At this point, like, I make my way over. I mean, if you see that amount of bruising, I'm sitting here going, no, it's broken. She's just being an ass.
Me, half-ass doctor over here.
Never said I was a doctor.
Right, driver.
Does Kira attempt to stand up?
I want to slowly put weight and see how everything feels as I approach the
Extreme
death
pain,
door.
and it feels like something is off. You're not sure what, but something's off.
Okay, from my experience, when I tore my ACL, well, whatever. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna like communicate this to. Well, I assume Cabby's off the boat at this point, right?
No, I'm kind of leaning up against the side of the boat, waiting for you to stop being an ass about it.
Oh yeah, no, then I wouldn't have said the thing to the daughter earlier because I was gonna wait till Cabby's out of like all of this and just like try to get that scene to end. What the hell is this advertisement? Oh, okay, explains a lot. So yeah, I'm just pretty much trying to. I'm not gonna try to get up, and I'm just gonna try to wait for Cabby's scene to end.
Okay. Cabby, you're standing there. She hasn't gotten up. The boat engines are just lightly growling in the background as the two ships make their way through the open ocean. What are Dexter and Via doing?
Waiting.
Dexter was like standing at the edge of the door, watching the thing between um, Cabby and Kira, just shaking his head, and then he turns back to Via and says, "So can we get out of here before whatever the hell was under their boat climbs under ours?"
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good
Speaking
idea.
of which, Dexter, why don't you make me a spot listen?
I'll spend 2 to make it a success.
Okay. You spend 2, and you look back, and you actually see the 2 figures on the back of the fishing boat, kind of like watching you guys leave. And you watch as the one with claws, its claws retract, and then it jumps in the water. And then the other one without claws goes to stand on the lip of the boat, watches you guys for a moment, and then it also just falls into the water.
Can I raise him while he's standing there watching us? Can I raise my gun and shoot at him?
It'll be a long shot, yeah, but you can certainly try. So I'm going to give you a black dice for speed, and then a black dice for distance.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I'll go ahead and spend 3.
Okay. And I'm waiting for the check. There we go. All right. Wow. Okay. So you go ahead and you steady yourself on the upper deck of your ship. Kind of kneel down, brace the gun against the railing, breathe in, breathe out, and just as your breath begins to calm down, squint a little bit, and lightly squeeze the trigger. And just as it's falling into the water, the bullet fires, and you can see a small puff of red as it falls into the water. Go ahead and roll me that beautiful damage. So 2d6 for the AK, and then an additional 3d6 for the extra damage.
Ouch!
11. Okay. So yeah, you popped it right in the chest, center mass, as it went down. But it just goes into the water.
Okay, he kind of drops his gun down a little bit and squints to look, and then he'll climb back down.
Okay. You go ahead and pick your rifle back up, and sort of dust yourself off a little bit. Stretch your knee a little bit, because it's not very comfortable kneeling down on the deck of a ship, especially if you're not used to it. Go ahead and make me a spot listen with a +10.
Okay.
Okay. So as you stand up, dust yourself off, and a little bit of a smile comes to the edge of your lips, as you definitely hit him. Your eyes glance over to a bit of motion coming from the island, and you can see 3 small dots, 3 boats, making their way into the water in your direction.
So are they moving from the island towards
From
us?
the island in your direction, yeah. Look like speedboats.
All right. I'm going to stay up top for now, but I'm going to lay down. Is the top like open where it's just a railing around it, or do I have cover up here at all?
I will post you an image in the Discord for you real quick. Give me a second here. You're looking for the top. Here we go. This is the image I'm looking for. Open image, a new tab. Copy image. There you go. And I'll let stream see this as well. There
Okay,
you
so
go,
I'm
there
on
you
the deck in the back, the rear, I guess.
So yeah, you're up there on that second deck where you can see the American flag and those two chairs.
All right, I'm gonna lean over the rail a little bit, and I'm gonna say, "Via, we speedboats inbound. Gun it."
I shall gun it.
Okay,
I'm not on the boat
fantastic.
yet, damn it.
So
Oh.
yeah, Cabby, as you are
Bye.
standing there,
Too bad, Gabby.
on at the back end of the other boat, you hear suddenly the engine of the other boat rev up as it begins gunning past your boat. Do you say anything via over the radio to the other boat?
Incoming. Gotta
Okay.
get out of here.
Okay. He gives you a loud and clear over the radio, and Cabby, your boat starts picking up speed now. Cabby, go ahead and roll me a spot listen.
I thought he was already over on the boat. I would have said something a little different if he wasn't.
Nope. Okay, two
But I did
successes. You look back in the direction of the island that's now a mile behind you, and you can see these three rapidly approaching silhouettes of boats.
All right. At this point, I go over to Kira and just start swearing and shaking my head as much as I can while pulling out some painkillers from the bag.
Mhm.
Hope you're not allergic to this. And just stick it right in.
Okay.
Stick what right in? What?
Well then,
What?
That's what she said.
What is
But
that?
yeah, you go ahead and you pull out some painkillers, and is it a local anesthetic where you have to put it into the leg itself, or you just put it in your arm?
Nope, it's just an IV.
Okay, so you put in an IV.
And I very intentionally start a 14 gauge. Biggest needle on planet Earth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're just coming at me trying to put things in my body, I'm not gonna just accept that, man.
Oh, I know. That's why I don't warn you.
Yeah, well, I got Shotty on my side, bros. I want to point it at you. This is gonna escalate quickly.
Well, first off, Kira, make me a spot listen.
All right,
And you're going to take a difficulty dice from the pain.
bring it. I'm able to roll whatever pain resistance thing to try to get off that difficulty dice.
Not in
this
the moment.
pain?
Not in the moment, unfortunately.
So
Cabby, you're going to
I'm
make me
doing
a grapple check.
Haha.
Am I making a grapple check or a stealth check?
Sure. Go with the stealth if you want to be stealthy.
And do I get to use my my first aid kit in this?
Not in a stealth check, no.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, what?
All right. Would either of you like to spend competency?
I'll burn all three.
Okay. All right. With that, Cabby, she sees you coming as you start making your way over there and pulling the IV out of the bag.
can't help but have noticed that the only time Kira uses competency is when it's against another player.
Oh, when it's against her own well-being, no less.
My own well-being. You're a half-assed medic who's trying to force drugs into my body. The worst bedside composer with even outside of out of character, in character, I think it's pretty clear you don't give a fuck about my actual condition. Like, you could go to hell.
Mostly, I just
What?
want you functional.
Functional? How about you just get on your boat and get the fuck away from my character?
In case you haven't noticed, my boat is a little further away now.
It sounds like a you problem. Sounds like I feel like this is in character at this point. Like,
This
sounds
sounds
you
like an
problem,
in-character
just to my
discussion.
side. I have shot it at my hip. Like, just stay in your corner. Go back in your boat. I'm done with you.
Would you like to get eaten as I just stick a finger out towards the boats coming up on us, or would you like to be able to, move?
I trust the fate of God more than I trust man right now.
All right. So I just sling the backpack over my shoulder and hop the couple of steps up to the bridge. And hey, can you get me up by my friends over there?
Go ahead. All right. So you begin making your way up to the second deck where their steering wheel is, to try and talk to your driver. I would like Via to go ahead and make me a navigation check, and the dad's also going to make a navigation check as you two are trying to rip away and get away from these guys as quickly as possible. Okay, fantastic. All right, that's a success from each of you, and they're going to make their rolls. So that's going to be 1 fear. Where is your navigation? There it is. Doop. Okay. All right, he's not doing so well. And then I need... You are going to make me a navigation check. Ooh, you do not have a high score. He's not doing so hot. And then you are going to make me a navigation check. Oh, God, I have so many character sheets open right now. All right, hold on. Close you. Keep you open. Keep you open. Yeah, you. Navigation. All right. So, 2 of the boats not keeping up so well. The third boat starting to gain, as you guys are now in a chase scene. Okay. But overall, you guys are keeping a pretty decent speed. But you're watching as that third boat begins skipping over the waves and starting to catch up to you guys. As you're good 3 nautical miles away from the islands at this point. And I am assuming that you're making your way up the coast of Costa Rica.
Yeah, so Dexter will climb down, slide down the stairs, whatever, real quick, and he'll walk into the captain's quarters where Via is, and he'll be looking around and grab the binoculars and say, "We've still got one behind us. You're doing a good job. Just keep it headed north. I'm going to see if I can get rid of this guy."
Okay. Since you've got the binoculars, make me a search check.
Okay. And one of Dexter's goals here is trying to identify whether or not these are actually creatures or if it's other human beings. Nobody coming after us in speedboats, I can imagine, would be a good thing. So I'm just trying to identify our enemy. I'll spend 3.
Okay. You spend 3. That'll still bring you to not a success, but it won't give you any setbacks. Yeah, you can just see the 3 ships. You can't really make out any details of who's on the ships, really, other than, of course, there's the blurry silhouette of individuals at the wheel of each of the ships. From the distance they are now, maybe if you keep watching them and they get closer, you'll be able to make out more detail.
Okay, am I even close to being within range of taking a shot at the lead boat?
You're looking at 1,000-meter shot at this point.
That's a hell of a shot with open sight.
That is a hell of a shot with iron sights, yeah. It's possible.
And moving targets.
Moving targets plus you're moving, yeah.
I'll wait and see if they start catching up. If the lead boat doesn't start catching up, then we'll do something else. But I'm going to keep my eye on them for now.
Yeah. I think that Dex would know that, like, the effective range of your rifles probably like 300 meters.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're just keeping an eye on them as I need the next round of navigation checks.
On my shopping list now.
I'm gonna spend 3.
All right, you're spending 3. And are you spending 3 with... Oh, okay, yeah, you did roll. Okay, so fantastic. All right.
I did roll, yes.
All right, he's not doing so well. You notice... can he spend 3 and get away with it? He can. So he's also going to spend 3 and get away with it. So, yeah, you guys are keeping, same speed at this point. Steel hauling ass. Let's see. He did a check. He did a check. I need... Not you. Not you. I need you to do a check. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So that one starts pulling up. And then I need you to do a check. Doop, doop, doop. Oh yeah. All right. So while the one boat that kind of began to gain on the pack sort of gets bypassed by the other 2 boats, they do get a bit closer to you guys, and I'd say at this point they're at... I'll put them at a cool 800 meters out. But while the chase is going on, do the other party members want to do anything? As over on Cabby and Kira's boat, you watch as the girl, she opens up the door to the second deck and slides the door open, goes in, pulls 2 of the magazines for the AKS off the counter, pulls the AKS off the counter as well, and unfolds the stock, makes her way to the back deck, and starts planting herself. Puts the 2 magazines at her left knee as she bends down and starts bracing herself.
So, Aaron, are these large speedboats? Or are they small, fast speedboats?
These look small and fast.
So the size of the motor in the rear is not much larger than a human torso.
Right.
Okay, so I will. I'll wait again.
Okay. You'll continue to wait. We'll say you're aiming, and just lining up the shop, getting ready. And this girl's doing the same. Next round of checks. Daddy-O is going to make his check. Ooh, all right. He's going to spend 3 competency points in order to bring that down to 1 failure. Then we go with you. Navigation. Boop, boop. Nope. You. Navigation. Boop, boop. Nope. And you. Navigation. Boop, boop. Okay. And how many successes did you get, Via? 1? Okay, so Via, you're getting as much speed as you can out of this thing at this point, and you're managing to stay an equal distance from the 3 speedboats at this point, or from 2 of them at this point. One is getting much closer at this point, and it's gotten within 500 meters, but you notice that the Black Buddha is slowing down a bit. Or at least it looks like it's slowing down as you begin to overtake it. And for Cabby, you guys are going to be 400 meters out from the lead boat. And this continues for a while as they just begin chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing you guys up the coast until after a good 20 minutes of just trying to throttle your boats as quickly as you can and get them up to full speed, you are at this point a good, we're going to say a good 8 miles from the islands that you initially left. The first boat, the lead boat, finally comes within 300 meters of Dexter.
Okay. Dexter is going to steady himself, breathe out, hold it, and he's going to take a shot.
Okay, he's going to spend competency points to dodge. And he is then going to...
Competency to hit.
Okay. The competency that you can spend is going to be to...
to damage.
Damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Right,
so that'll bring him to 1 success.
Okay, similarly to past rolls that I've done, if I get a major success here, I'd like to, if at all possible, change some of the successes to just turn it into a headshot if possible.
Okay, and you're going to have 1 black dice, by the way, for, moving targets, rapid moving targets, essentially. And then make sure to have on your 2 red dice for damage.
Should I make it 5 since I've got 3 competencies?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and do that.
Okay. All right, we're going to take our shot now.
Ooh, all right.
6 total successes.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. What is your damage threshold? Yeah, it's been bypassed. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. You did 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, 19 points of damage. As you fire off a shot, and you just watch as his head turns into a fine mist, and he slumps over, and the boat loses quite a bit of speed, drops back to about 400 meters, and then you watch as somebody else takes the wheel. And as that other person takes the wheel, you can see a third individual kind of take a step up next to him, level a rifle, and he's going to pop a shot back. And he's going to go ahead and he's going to spend his point of competency for extra damage. He's going to take his black dice for the movement. He's not particularly great at long guns, but that is okay. Here we go. There is a crack of a single rifle shot that comes from their speedboat as it loses speed, and another driver takes the wheel, and quickly, as you watch this individual pull up, steady themselves, fire off a shot, and almost in slow motion you watch as this bullet comes straight for you. And you are going to be taking... I forgot to do the damage in that roll, sorry.
Do I have the ability to dive out of the way, or to...
I would absolutely allow you to try and dive out of the way if you would like to roll me a dodge. Difficulty 1 for being on a boat.
I will give this a shot. Let me change my blood dice. I'll spend 2 to make a success.
Okay. Fantastic. So, in that case, he's going to spend that other point of competency to try and negate your success instead of doing damage. So, 11. How's Dexter doing as this bullet comes straight onward?
I'm not sure at the moment. How did we?
So it's going to hit your damage threshold first. What's your damage threshold?
5.
Okay, so your damage threshold is 5. It's going to take 5 away. All right, and then the rest of the damage goes towards your health boxes. And you have 5 health boxes. So, I'm going to get you to roll me a 1d100. And I'm going to ask you to call out high or low. And you want to win this roll.
Okay, we're going to call high because I have a tendency to roll high. Oh, bam!
So, Dexter, you've had a good old time.
I catch the bullet between my teeth.
Oh, that's not what happens. No. You've been having a good old time. You have been shooting these fuckers left and right every chance you get as your journey has gone on over these last several horrifying days. But finally, in your second ever firefight, where the enemy is shooting back, it hits you. And it hits you right in the collarbone. Go ahead and put a checkbox in all 5 of your health points. Technically, you would be dead. However, because you succeeded on your 1d100 roll, you are alive right now. Give me a second here, as I'm going to tell you what injuries you've just gained.
Okay. So I assume that Cabby would see Dexter fall from the...
Oh, yeah. Okay. So via you hear a wet thump and the sound of something slumping over and hitting the deck. So Dexter, you're going to have a broken collarbone. Let me see here. Is it possible, Cabby, to fracture your shoulder girdle?
Your shoulder girdle.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Also, it's probably important to dictate, is this left side or right side?
This is going to be your left side.
shoulder girdle? I'm not familiar with the term.
It's part of your clavicle. It's like so the bullet would have hit like right here. If you can see that, Cabby.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
And then it would have penetrated and tumbled, because it's an M16. So
Okay,
it's 5.56.
Okay, you're talking the scapula.
My bad, scapula. So yeah.
Okay.
But that would be possible to fracture, absolutely.
With a what size bullet and from how far?
5.56, and this would be 400 meters away.
I mean, not if it punched through his clavicle, not really.
Okay.
You might crack a couple of ribs along with it, but...
All right.
16 as well, depending on how it hit. It could go upwards or downwards. If
It's going down.
Okay.
I
mean, technically speaking, if we rolled a 50-50 and it went up, just for the sake of it, it would be primarily just tissue damage. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, I'll be nice. I will allow you to roll another 50-50 with a D100, and if it's below 50, or it's 50 and below, it's going down. 50 and or above 50, it's going up.
I roll well, so I'm
Shut up.
positive here.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to have to look at muscles.
These high rolls don't do well in this game, so I'm getting lucky here.
Are you looking at what would go or what would happen if it tumbled over the clavicle?
So what I'm thinking it's going to do is it's going to go in, tumble, and then pierce out as it's
Okay,
tumbling.
so it's just going to shred his trap.
There you go.
The upper trap.
Yep.
All right. And I need you to roll me with a single black die. You are going to roll me a resist pain.
I will say that I'm just going to go ahead and spend 3 on it.
Okay. In that case, you don't black out from the pain, as you are thrown backward. Your head bounces off the glass door, and your second injury is going to be a concussion as you slam into the door in the deck. Go ahead and in your third injury box write in torn muscle, and then the muscle that Cabby said.
Yes, got it.
All right, for your... Let's see here. Dun 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 dun. You're gonna, for your next injury, you're gonna write down fractured first rib.
Got it.
And then we're gonna luckily leave that last one empty, because otherwise that would be death. And Dexter is effectively out of the fight at this point.
Thank you, D100s.
Okay. So Dexter goes down. And it's as Dexter goes down that the DM is going to be extremely nice and say that the speedboats realize that they aren't really catching up, and you're getting too far away from the coast at this point, and they begin to slow down. As Dexter is now bleeding out on the second deck. What would the rest of you like to do?
I would like to get back on my boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, how much of this do I know? Like,
So
do
you would
I
have
see any of?
You would have heard the shot. You would have heard him hitting the deck hard. And as you looked back, there would just be a splatter of blood and tissue, a little bit of tissue on the glass door behind you. And you would see that the glass is has a large crack in it from the bullet tumbling out and hitting the glass.
Okay, and I noticed. Okay, obviously I can look and see that the other boats are turning around.
Yeah.
I am gonna get on the radio and say, Cabby, we need you over here. We need to rendezvous.
So the dad gets on the radio and says, "All right, I'm gonna try and line us back up. Go ahead and make me a navigation check. He's gonna spend 3 competency points, and those are the last of his competency points to line up."
I'm going to spend 3 as well. I don't want to take a chance.
So you desperately try and line up both ships as quickly as possible, and it doesn't take long. I'll be generous and say 15 seconds pass as they rapidly, almost as if they're both in sync, slow down to a good enough pace and get nice and close to each other enough for Cabby to then walk over to the other ship.
All right, so I am going to hop over. I still got my med bag over my shoulder, but I am going to grab the drug box off the deck too and hightail it up to where Dex is.
Okay, you hightail it up, and Dex, you are in about a grand total of 45 seconds of excruciating pain before you see Cabby's face appear next to you.
Hey, Dex kind of rolls over onto his back now, and Tabby would see that he's been trying in serious pain to pull his shirt back, tearing the neckline if necessary to kind of expose the wound to try to get a look at it. In vain, of course. You can't really turn your seer trap very well. But as Cabby approaches, Dexter would only say, "Did you see that? I got one of those fuckers."
Yeah, it looks like they got their licks in too. And at this point, I am going to have I'm going to hand Via a roll of gauze and have her hold pressure.
I can do that.
Well,
I am going to
before you get into
pop
everything,
open. Yep.
as you slide open the glass door and begin asking Via for help, that is where we're going to end our episode of Here We Are, Year Zero. And we're going to pick up with the life-saving procedure that Cabby is going to attempt so that Dexter does not die next episode. So Dexter,
Life-saving my ass.
if you need to be rerun through it, I'm going to hand you another character sheet just in case. And yeah, I'd like you to start thinking of concepts tonight.
Perfect. I'll do that.
Hey,
Thank you all so much for coming out.
I was going to say, have I ever mentioned that of the 6 people I have run on that I know personally, 5 of them are dead?
Beautiful.
Your odds are not great.
You're instilling much confidence.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What the fuck?
Thank you all so much for coming out. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Here We Are, Year Zero, where we may or may not lose Dexter. Adios.
Bye.